Welcome to the White Eagle Talking Circle, reading of the daily meditations of Native American elders, July 25th. My name is Josiah, and I am an addict.
Hi, Josiah. I'm Amanda Boyer, and I am an addict alcoholic in recovery. I am also a Coyote Clan activist for Wellbriety.
Right on. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. And before we start, and as Native country, before we do anything, we always pray. So we invite this bear root this morning, and I'll open up with a prayer, and we'll jump right into the meditations. Thank you for today, Creator God, creator of all things, first creator. Thank you for today. Thank you for helping us out on the red road. We pray for our brothers and sisters out there on the red road, those that have gone back out and those still caught up in their addiction. Help us to find a good way, a good path. Praying for the single parents, the brokenhearted, those in mourning, that they're comforted and they're able to lean upon you, Creator God. In your name we pray. Ho.
Oh.
Well, today we'll jump right into the reading from the Meditations with Native American Elders of the Wellbriety Movement. July 25th, Summer Meditations with Native American Elders. People need to wake up. They can't hear God's voice if they're asleep. Vernon Cooper, Lumbee. Black Elk, a Sioux, talks about the hoop of many hoops. He says that above the people is a hoop, a conscience. The total belief of the people, if the hoop is sick, meaning dysfunctional, codependent, a lot of alcoholism, family abuse, violence, racism, and sexual abuse, the people can get used to this and think this is normal. In other words, the people are asleep. If we have left the spiritual way of life, the people are asleep. If we are giving our power to another entity, the people are asleep. In most tribes, there are Coyote clans. The job of the Coyote clan people is to wake the people up and need to become a nuisance and irritate people. We must return to the spiritual walk. Oh, great spirit, keep me awake today. Let me hear the voice of our ancestors. Let me hear the voices of the grandfathers. Because everybody is doing it doesn't make it right. Let me hear the truth today and become a coyote for the people. Give me the courage to be willing to be different. Let me walk straight on the red road. Who? I know there's a lot in there, a lot in the reading to unpack and different things. The reading was having me think about a lot of different things when it comes to my walk on the red road. And one of the things was going against the grain, of society, especially mainstream society, because that's not our culture. That's not what my ancestors lived by. And because of the teachings from the cultural teachings that I've been able to implement in my walk on the red road, I've been able to not be reactive and be able to respond to everything and just kind of live a more peaceful life. Prior to the red road, so there's a lot of chaos, a lot of drama in my life, and it was because of me. It wasn't because of anybody else. And that was a tough pill to swallow, to look back and see that trail of destruction that I caused in my addiction, how unstable I was. And and it's still a tough pill to swallow. But today I'm thankful that, I think about ancestors, I think about what they went through and what they survived and their mentality, finding more and more about learning more and more about that, like their state of mind back then. They lived and they prayed for, the unborn, the all the way down to like 7 generations down the line. They made their decisions for like their grandchildren and their grandchildren's grandchildren. So they survived that transition to this reservation. They survived boarding school. They made that work so that we could be here. And today's reading really kind of brought that back to mind, that I want to honor those ancestors. They were tough, they were strong, and that, I want to honor that decision to survive all that BS so that I could be here. I want to live in a good way. And I find myself more and more pulling away from mainstream society, mainstream thinking, and kind of gravitating more and more to like, just, there's a saying within the rooms, keep it simple. And I think I tell myself that every day, if not multiple times every day, because our ancestors, and even in the cultural teachings they passed along, is very simple, like just to live in a simple way and handle from when you wake up until you go to bed. And that's what was hitting me today with the reading. And with that, I'll pass it on over to Amanda.
Thanks, Josiah. With this reading, I pulled out my pen. I am a Coyote Clan activist for Wellbriety. And what I was told with that is a responsibility to yip like a coyote, get out there and talk, and get out there and talk to people that there's a spiritual way that we're here, that I believe with our ancestors, where we come from as Native people, that we were interconnected, and there is that 7 generations and that walk of faith and spirituality. And when you put alcohol and drugs and everything that you had said in the reading, we don't walk in our ways. Because I'm an addict, alcoholic in recovery, I know that walk too. And it's almost like I guess you can say you were asleep, with me in mind, I isolated. I didn't know who I was. I knew that, I wasn't doing right for my kids, for myself, or anything, and ultimately it was, I didn't know who I was. I was raised by my grandparents in a traditional way, and with their deaths and how society is today, like you were talking, Josiah, that it seemed like I lost that way. But to come back into sobriety and in healing and walking this road and finding myself again and being proud of who I am, and really looking back on where there's a lot of talk about the boarding schools now. I was in boarding school also. But to really look at not just what myself has overcome, but also my people. And it's such a humbling gratitude. And we're all interconnected, and we're all here to show each other the walk of what our people did, and the continued walk today. That's what I got. It's beautiful.
Right on. Thank you for, being part of that Coyote Clan within Wellbriety, and letting the people know, that we gotta turn from our ways, turn away from mainstream society, and start keeping it simple. That's huge, and that's a big thing, and I think you got an important role there, and I'm glad you're able to. You said you got that from Don Coyes, correct?
Yes.
Right on.
2020 cool. Santa Fe, New Mexico. January.
Right
Yeah.
on. Right on. That's cool. Right on. Yeah, today's reading a lot in there. You know, I'm just appreciative of the readings and of our ancestors and the knowledge that they're able to pass on despite what happened to them and what they went through. And my goal, you know, is just to help. So, you know, that's just the mission every day, is try to help somebody or someone, even if that person is just me. So it's good. And thank you for joining me today. And we'll close with the silent proclamation. To walk the red road is to offer up a silent proclamation. Here the destruction stops.
Destruction stops.
We will heal ourselves. We will heal our wounded
We will heal our
relationship.
wounded relationships.
We'll heal our
We will heal
children.
our children.
We will heal our
We
nation.
will heal our nation.
On this day,
On
our
this
future
day,
history
our future history
begins.
begins.
All right. Shouldn't
Oh.